Official weight 170. And his opponent, the former featherweight and lightweight champion of the world, the notorious Conor McGregor. Official weight 170.5.
Max, big mistake going back to 45 after he did 55.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just too hard on the body. Who's a thick 55 when he fought Justin? He looked good, man.
Yeah.
He looked solid at that weight. Him fighting at that weight, he could actually fight. Going down to 45, it looked to me like he was compromised. Like, I think the weight cut was just
it was too much.
And especially
I saw Conor yesterday.
Okay, I was going to ask you. You interviewed Conor.
Conor's not interviewing
Fastcast.
with anybody. He gives you interviews, and Ian Parker actually lined that up. I got to be part of it. First off, Ariel, we're in a room that's kind of like this in terms of lighting, but it's 108 degrees outside. So when Conor comes in and he opens the door, I swear to goodness there was this glow that walks around him. And no one knows when he's going to come. That's the other thing. You set a time with Conor, and then you stick around for Conor. So he pulls this door open, and it's his power team. I mean, they are moving. They're moving fast. He's dressed like $1 million. He's got this glow, and then somehow a microphone just like appeared in his hand. I don't know if they gave it to him outside. So he comes in, and he starts addressing the audience. He doesn't know if we're live. He doesn't know what we're doing. He comes in, he takes over this whole thing. They're giving him the pop. You know, he's like, "What's up, Vegas? Are you enjoying Vegas?" You know, all the
Oh, it's in front of a live crowd.
Yes.
Okay, wow.
They go crazy. Ariel, this guy's huge. I get up and give him the bro hug. First off, he's as hard as a rock. And secondly, I'm looking at him, I said, "Conor, I fought middleweights my whole life. I didn't fight anybody smaller than you." He said, "Chael, I don't want to talk about my weight." This was a surprise answer. He said, "I'm going to keep my weight close, but I will tell you for the first time ever, I got to pull down to 170. And if I was to guess, I mean, he's closer to 180 than he is 170. Could that be relevant in the fight? Yeah, maybe. If he got on top of Max, he would hold Max. He held him the first time, and now he's a bigger, stronger guy. It is a piece of this that the bettors, the odds makers, that nobody knew. It's a piece.
Absolutely. There's the other part about Max. We had his nutritionist, Tyler Minton, on the program yesterday. I think Max will probably come in at like 168.
Yep.
I don't think he'll hit the 170 limit.
171, yep.
He doesn't, yeah, because non-title fight. He's not a 170 pounder, right? Conor said he's never been hit by a welterweight before, but is Conor a true welterweight? There's a difference between being hit by Jack Della and being hit by Conor, in my opinion.
Yes.
Conor's a 155er who's fighting at welterweight.
Yes.
There's a difference, right?
This was tested in some ways. Rico maintained. Rico said 9 out of 10 times, straight up striking. Alex Pereira, Ciryl gone. Ciryl would win. I said, why? He said he's bigger. I said, no, he's not. They weigh the same. They're separated by like 3 pounds. He said, no, they're not. Growing to a heavyweight as opposed, he said, you don't understand the bone density. You don't understand. I mean, Rico called this so perfectly, and I only shared, like, to your point, yes, you're right, and that would be a recent...
I believe what people are seeing in Conor yesterday in the media, and they'll continue to see as the week progresses, this level of sort of calm confidence is the result of what he's done the last 6 months. And I always have that joke saying that I could give the best Rocky speech to a fighter, not just Conor, you know, the night before a fight, but he has to go to bed and listen to himself. And you can't lie to yourself. And you'll start scratching away at your confidence saying, I didn't eat right all the time, and I missed those few sessions. And I can't tell you did them if you didn't. So true confidence is only born through hard work. And he really has done it the right way the last 6 months. And that's why you're going to see him and us all enjoying this week and being very, you know, calm, like I said, and looking forward to Saturday night. And it will be spectacular and it will be great because I know how he's trained. I would say this last 6 months training and how he's approached it might be the hardest and most dedicated 6 months he's done since I've known him. I don't say that lightly.
Wow. Even Aldo, you know, all
just that the way he has been the last 6 months has been different.
Okay.
It really has. And y'all can say what you like, but they'll see I believe you will see the result of that work. Sorry.
I can't wait. I see he got 2 belts. I guess we're fighting for belts come Saturday night, so I can't wait to take those pretty belts off his hands. You didn't lay a glove on me last time. You're not going to lay a glove on me this time. This is a different animal coming back. I've got a lot to prove here. And who am I proving it to? To myself. So you're up against it. I touched your face quite a lot last time. And even the heck, if we're talking about drops, I dropped your ass with a high kick.
Conor McGregor's long-awaited return has become one of the biggest talking points in combat sports, and every appearance he makes is adding even more excitement to an already massive fight. During fight week, McGregor looked confident, physically stronger than many fans expected, and completely focused on proving that his 5-year absence hasn't taken away the qualities that once made him the biggest superstar in UFC history. Several analysts have pointed out that Conor appears to have dedicated the last 6 months to one of the most disciplined training camps of his career.
And number 2, get him in boxing range and just fucking put in the work on him. Just outwork him, right? Just outwork him. So, with all that being said, the notorious one, taking on Max Holloway. At 170, by the way, which I don't think that's going to play... You know, if Conor McGregor was a grappler like Charles Oliveira, I'm like, I'm not a big fan of 170, but he's not. You know, is he going to have the power? Maybe. But at the same time, as the fight goes on, the power's going to dwindle. So if Max can just withstand a couple shots, he should be good. You know, how does Max Holloway feel at 170? He shouldn't have to cut any weight. He should be able to walk in as natural as possible. His body shouldn't have to go through a massive weight cut to make 155, near damn 145. Neither does Conor McGregor. So I'm not really concerned about it being at 170. I think it's just, you know, these guys are fighting their natural weight. But with all that being said, I'm going to have to go with the blessed one, Max Holloway. He's just been active, even though it's been ups and downs. I like the athlete who's been active. I think this matchup is great. Even though Conor McGregor beat him the very first time when they fought years, moons ago, I think Max Holloway is ready for this fight. I think he's excited for this fight because I'm sure when you fight Conor McGregor, even if it's Paramount Plus, I'm sure it's red panty night for Max Holloway.
Rebuilding both his body and his confidence after recovering from a devastating leg injury. Unlike previous camps filled with distractions, this time McGregor has repeated
fight week. What are your expectations as we head into Thursday's press conference, the face-to-faces that you'll do this week with him, ceremonial weigh-in on Friday? What do you think he'll pull? What do you think he'll try to do to you?
I don't know. We see what happens. You know, I'm excited because by everything that you're seeing, you see, he looks like a changed man. He found God. He's talking about bringing his fights to his kids to the fights, to the very first fight. So I'm excited. I want to see, you know, but if he's ready to tangle and, you know, and see, the man got the gift of gab and you want to talk some shit, I welcome it, man. I'm from Waianae, Hawaii. Yeah, ask any of my teammates. Ask that guy right there. He gets it the most in the shit talking. So at the end of the day, it'd be fun.
Repeatedly emphasized that he's fighting to prove something to himself rather than anyone else. On the opposite side stands Max Holloway, one of the most respected and...
You're not worried about anyone getting into your head, but what do you make of these comments that keep coming up from these sound bites of Conor McGregor where he says, Max Holloway is my child. I'm going to son him again like I did 13 years ago.
I mean, if sonning someone is taking someone down and holding them for 3 rounds, then he's absolutely right, you know? So at the end of the day, it is what it is. For him, whatever it takes for him that he needs to keep telling himself to get Saturday night, do whatever you gotta do, because I just want you to make that walk. And the beautiful thing is, we get the
active fighters in mixed martial arts who believes activity, experience, and durability give him a huge advantage over a returning McGregor. Holloway has openly admitted that he respects Conor's courage for stepping back into elite competition after such a long layoff. But he also insists that respect will disappear the moment the cage door closes. The weight difference has become another major talking point.
No, I mean, it just shows what kind of warrior he is. You know, at the end of the day, in my mind, I would do the same thing. I think he's a hammer. You know what I mean? I think he's an animal for doing that. And I see a lot of people calling him out, and I'm like, bro, if I was in the same situation, I think I would do the same thing. You know, and but that just shows the warrior mentality he has. You know, how much money he has in the bank. The injury had to come back. The 5-year layoff. We're here now, so I got nothing but respect for the man of doing that. And if you got to talk a little bit to get him there, Just make sure you show up Saturday night.
Well, it seems like he's saying the right things in the interview, saying, look, I haven't fought in 5 years. I don't have the wear and tear that Max does. He said he feels like he's still in his prime. When you hear that stuff, what do you think, knowing what 5 years can do in terms of a layoff?
I mean, like he said, he got to recover. He got recovery. You know, a lot of us go into these fights fighting all the time, banged up most of the time, and then we get little recovery, and then we got to turn back around, you know. So at the end of the day, I can see where he's coming from. The bad part for him is he's fighting me. He got to see me from the octagon, you know. There's a lot of guys that he could have chose. He chose the wrong.
Many experts debating whether fighting around 170 pounds benefits McGregor's power or simply removes the difficult weight cuts that affected both athletes in previous years. Some believe McGregor's increased size could make him more dangerous early in the fight, while others argue Holloway's...
Can you take us into your mind? What are you thinking? What are you feeling?
Confidence. Absolute confidence and excitement to do my job. Happy to be back.
Is that a big part of you getting back here, is having the confidence to walk in front of everybody, and after what happened to you and some of the losses and setbacks and the comeback and everything else? How hard was it? We always remember you being a confident guy. How hard was it to find that confidence again?
You know, you got to dig deep and you got to prove to yourself you are what you say you are. And so that was what it was for me. I was using it as motivation. It takes a lot of, you know, deep internal work to return from an injury like that, and circumstances surrounding it, and I just use that as motivation. Lovely. I wish for it to be that way, because now I can show. And on Saturday,
during legendary cardio and relentless pace will become the deciding factor if the contest reaches the later rounds. Former fighters and analysts continue to disagree about the impact of ring rust, with some saying 5 years away from live competition is impossible.
How about everything that comes with fight week? I know you've talked about this before, that it is taxing, it is exhausting, but you're used to it, you know, but now here you are and you're in it, and you have lived such a crazy experience, a unique experience that people want to hear about it. Yeah. How much of yourself do you want to share at this point in your career?
Well, you know, it's fight week. I won't be getting on a therapist's chair on fight week. Do you get me?
Possible to ignore. While others believe an experienced champion like McGregor can quickly regain his rhythm once the fight begins. Holloway, meanwhile, has made it clear that psychological warfare won't affect him, saying trash talk means nothing compared to what happens inside the octagon. He welcomes every verbal exchange, but remains focused on his performance rather than headlines. McGregor has fired back by reminding everyone of his previous victory over Holloway and
venom. Literally, that is what it will be. It will be venomous inside this octagon. And, you know, I'm an open book. What you see is what you get with me. I always try and speak my truth, and, you know, at the best of me, I try and encourage others and inspire others and motivate others, and that's kind of what I'll do, you know, without getting too much into anything soppy or anything, you know. I'll keep that fire in my belly and go and fight on Saturday night.
Is it going to be a lot of venom? Is it going to be some joy too? I mean, we've seen a few versions of you, you know, and you're very good when you're joyous as well.
Yeah, for sure. No, there you go. That's a great point. A flow state for sure. I'll look for that. Holloway's a great opponent to find my feet in here. I know he's planning on deep waters. It's almost a bit disrespectful. I'm not sure who he thinks he's talking about here.
Insists that the new version of himself is stronger, calmer, and more motivated than ever before. As fight night approaches, fans remain divided over whether McGregor can complete one of the greatest comeback stories in UFC history, or whether Holloway's consistency, durability, and recent activity will prove too much for the Irish superstar. Whatever the outcome, this matchup represents far more than a simple rematch. It is a battle between legacy and momentum, experience and activity, confidence and...
I know this is a very busy fight week for you. You know, one of the reasons I think that you aren't in those conversations is not because your performance has lacked anything. It's just there was a lack of performances. There wasn't activity, and I think obviously...
Well, you know, yeah, that's a fair shout for sure, and I understand why. I understand the whys of it. But you cannot get caught in all of this. What is the skill? Who is the best? Who is the greatest? Who is the best? And it is me, and the results show this. It's not like the fights weren't there. It was just elsewhere. There was divisional changes, which originally was not me. It was a fighter pulling out, or you know, things of that nature that kind of led to it. So I understand it. However, I don't agree with it. I am the greatest featherweight since Bruce Lee, And on Saturday night,
Conor McGregor's long-awaited return has become one of the biggest talking points in combat sports, and every appearance he makes is adding even more excitement to an already massive fight. During fight week, McGregor looked confident, physically stronger than many fans expected, and completely focused on proving that his 5 year...
Let's talk about key to victory for both these guys, right? We'll start with Conor McGregor, because the biggest thing for him is key to victory one is that he has to get used to getting hit in the face again. Now, I know that might sound weird, but for an athlete, when you take time off the sport, you take time off competition, getting hit in the face is something you have to get used to. Getting boom, blast in the nose, something swells up. Granted, you get that in training, but training and fighting are two different fucking things. I can tell you that right now. He's got to make sure, but when he gets in there, that he takes it all in. He gets hit in the face. He's like, okay, I've been here before. He's got to knock off that ring rust. Dominic Cruz says, I believe there is no ring rust. I believe there is, especially for an athlete who's so precise and the movement and hitting him. Key number two, he's got to make sure he remembers how that canvas feels on his feet. He's going to be light at his feet and not allow Max Holloway to get him into a boxing fest. Because we've seen that before. When Conor McGregor gets in a boxing fest with Dustin Poirier, the last two fights, when he gets in a boxing fest with Nate Diaz, when he gets in that boxing fest, he tends to lose that spark, right? Where he's a pop, pop, pop. When you fight Eddie Alvarez, it wasn't a boxing fest. He was boom, 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 and catches him, right?
With millions of fans around the world waiting to see which warrior will have his hand raised when the final bell rings.